In the past few hours, the long-awaited trailer for the movie Beetlejuice 2 was finally released. A movie that brings back this iconic character. What would you think if I told you that Beetlejuice will kidnap Lydia, and it will be in his daughter's hands to rescue her? In this video, we will be reviewing Beetlejuice's backstory and analyzing the new trailer in an attempt to decipher what exactly will happen in this movie. And for more videos of your favorite series and movies, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Welcome to the Oasis Geek. First, let's talk about what happened in the first Beetlejuice movie. The first Beetlejuice movie introduces us to Barbara and Adam Maitland, a couple who live in a beautiful home in the small town of Winter River, Connecticut. During a vacation at their home, they have a car accident trying to avoid a dog and die drowned in the river. Upon returning home, they realize they are now ghosts and cannot leave the property. Soon after, the house is sold to the Deetz family of New York. Charles, a real estate developer, his wife Delia, a sculptor, and Lydia, Charles's Gothic daughter. With the help of interior designer Otho, they transform the house into a postmodern work of art. The Maitlands try to scare the Deetzes away, but only Lydia can see them due to their strange and unusual nature. Following the handbook for the recently deceased, the Maitlands visit a waiting room in the afterlife and meet their social worker Juno, who tells them they must remain in the house for 125 years. Desperate, they contact Beetlejuice, a freelance bioexorcist, to help them scare the Deetz away, but his crude and morbid behavior makes them reconsider. Charles wants to turn the town into a paranormal tourist attraction, but his boss, Maxie Dean, demands proof of the ghosts. Otho performs an exorcism using the Maitlands' wedding clothes, causing them to age and decay. Lydia summons Beetlejuice to save them, but he only agrees to help if she marries him, which would allow him to wreak havoc freely on the mortal world. Beetlejuice saves the Maitlands and gets rid of Maxie, his wife, and Otho. He then arranges a wedding with a gruesome minister. The Maitlands intervene before the ceremony is completed, and Barbara summons a giant sandworm that devours Beetlejuice. The Deetzes and the Maitlands agree to live in harmony in the house, forming a stronger bond with Lydia. Meanwhile, Beetlejuice is trapped in the waiting room of the afterlife, where a witch doctor shrinks his head as punishment for stealing a number. Now, what happens in the new trailer for this movie? This preview begins with Jenna Ortega riding past Miss Shannon's high school on a bicycle, a school for women that we saw in the first movie. But what character does Jenna play in this movie? In an interview with the website Flickering Myth, Jenna revealed part of her character, saying the following: "I don't know how much I'm allowed to say, but I am Lydia Deetz's daughter, so I'll give that away," she revealed. "She's weird, but in a different way, and not in the way you'd assume, I would say." The relationship between Lydia and Astrid, my character, is very important. And it's also really strange because it's a lot of catching up and putting the pieces together of what's gone on in Lydia's life since. Which is nice, I think, for anybody who loves the character and is excited to see her again. When asked to give a little more insight into the dynamic between her Astrid and Lydia, Ortega reveals she doesn't go to the opposite end of the spectrum. But any kid who becomes a teenager wants to be removed from their parents. I think they instantly just fight whatever it is that their parents love. So I think it's a little bit of that. I'm not wearing pink and a cheerleader, but I am a little bit against my mom's history or past. We butt heads quite a bit. This means that Jenna's character will be Lydia's daughter, which could explain why she has a similar personality. But let's go back to the trailer. In this one, we can see the same bridge we saw in the first movie, where Barbara and Adam died. We move on to the official announcement that this film will be directed by Tim Burton, a visionary director who also created the first film. And we are shown the reason why Jenna is coming to this town. Apparently, someone from the Deetz family has lost their life. We can see how Lydia Deetz, her mother Delia, and now her daughter Astrid are standing in the cemetery. This means that Charles possibly lost his life and the whole family must reunite and return to this mythical house. We can see a scene where Astrid discovers the miniature city, which was shown to us in the first movie, the place where Beetlejuice manifested. And we see that Lydia stands in front of this miniature city which starts to shake. What happens is that possibly Lydia has summoned Beetlejuice. In the previous movie, he had been trapped in the afterlife, but apparently Lydia has opened the door again for him to return to the world. And we can hear when Beetlejuice says, "The juice is free," referring to the fact that he can now interact in the real world, and we see Lydia's surprised face. I think what happens in this scene is that Lydia needs someone's help. Maybe she wants to talk to her father Charles again, and only one person can contact her with the afterlife. Obviously Beetlejuice. But this entity is malevolent, and in releasing him, they will have to deal with his attitudes, traps, and pranks. I think it's possible that Lydia's character will no longer be the main character in the story, and it will be up to Jenna, a new generation, to figure out everything that's going on. But what is Astrid's purpose? My theory about this movie is that since Charles died, it's possible that Lydia needs Beetlejuice's help in order to contact him again, and ends up releasing him. Beetlejuice has been trapped in the afterlife for a long time, and he wanted to marry Lydia in the first movie, so he could have more dominance in the real world. So we may see Beetlejuice kidnap Lydia, and it is up to his daughter Astrid to investigate what happened and stop Beetlejuice. The return of these characters is one that makes me feel very excited. It's quite nostalgic, and hopefully it can match the quality of the first installment. In future videos, we will be delving deeper into the history of this world, as Beetlejuice is not just a movie. It's an extended universe that could even open the door to other movies. But tell me, what do you think of the trailer? Did you like it? Do you think Jenna's character will have to save Lydia? And for more videos of your favorite series and movies, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. You are on The Oasis Geek.